Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another Film Critters Processes.
Film Critters Processes.
Today we're talking about
Uncut Gems, dude.
Bigger, longer, and uncut.
Bro.
Like the movie South Park.
Like the South Park movie. Like it's a South Park humor joke. You like South Park.
Anyone here like South Park?
Does anybody?
Press 1 in the chat.
Legitimate question. Does anybody like South Park? Is there anyone?
There are people. It's still. I mean, I was gonna say it's still going, but so is Simpsons. So you know.
Yeah. There's no rules in society. Yeah, we watched Uncut Gems.
It's really good.
Hey, spoiler for the rest of this. It's really good.
Yeah. Actually, spoiler. Also, it's worth seeing. You should go see it if you can stomach a very intense 2-hour Always Sunny episode.
Yeah. Big time.
But we are going to be spoiling it.
Yeah.
Pretty heavily. There's pretty major spoilers in that film.
Yeah.
So pause this episode, go to your local Cineplex.
Pay the 1 ticket to Uncut Gems, please. And then report back.
Yeah.
And as always, we're going to have our kind of feelings, reactions, ethos of the show obviously being just kind of like mimicking. I don't feel like I've ever said this, but I feel like Process is kind of just like us, like mimicking the whole outside of the theater conversation situation.
No. Same. There have been times when we've seen movies and like afterwards, like, okay, let's wait till we do the processes because I don't want to. Processes is it before we do so. But yeah, that's the thing I want is we're not doing reviews. We're not doing check it out if you like a nice movie. It's like we're assuming you've either seen it or are interested but kind of want to know a little bit more about it.
Sure.
And don't care about spoilers, which is like a baller move, by the way. If you don't care about spoilers,
hey, cool.
That's how you win.
Yeah.
Like
that's how you beat the system.
Like the meme from Uncut Gem. This is how I win.
This is how I win.
Very upsetting how good it is.
Yeah.
A movie about Adam Sandler playing a very Adam Sandler character, but as a drama film.
Yeah.
Should not be as good as this movie is, but it is.
Yeah. Elephant in the room. Adam Sandler. Holy shit! What a great job! What an incredible performance!
It's one of those things where it's like I feel like it's been a known quality is that Adam Sandler can act.
Yeah.
But he chooses not to.
But Jack and Jill, which, I mean, like, as I've grown into an adult, I've become, like, less sort of, like, I think there's an inclination to kind of hold it against actors for the movies that they are in. And, like, now that I know about what money is,
yeah.
I don't anymore.
Well, like with Nick Cage, I've always known, like, yeah, he does a lot of movies that are just garbage. Because he needs the money to fund his dinosaur bone collecting habit.
His dinosaur museum or whatever. Yeah, like I'll begrudge any celebrity who's rich because, gimme.
Where's my cut?
But, yeah, really, really great performance. Like, really harkening back to some, really on his Punch Drunk Love shit. But not even so much like a different enough character to be like, to not really be a good direct comparison to that film.
Yeah, no, it's in that same vein in that it's like, oh, this is one of those movies you see where you're like, oh yeah, I know, like maybe if the right directors or the right script, he can turn in a very good performance. It's just his brand and his bread and butter is yelling.
Yeah.
Yelling in a funny way, not yelling in a kind of funny but upsetting way.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, Elephant or No, Adam Sandler, great performance, brings a lot of like, if you've ever dealt with the person who just always has an excuse, wow, was that a familiar experience with this movie?
Yeah, boy, oh boy. Really, yeah, just like I really like the Safdie Brothers. Based on I've also seen Good Time, and I had a good time with Good Time. Also just an incredible breakout, like Robert Pattinson performance that is just like so off the mark of like everything else that he's been doing for his career, but he just does an incredible job. Have you seen Good Time yet?
I haven't. I've been meaning to because a friend of the show, Mia, has hyped me up a lot on it, which is actually what got me to go see Good Time because I was like,
Uncut Gems.
Sorry, Uncut Gems. Because like, well, Good Time's supposed to be really good, and it's from the same directors, and it seems like this is their like more of a we have a bit more of a budget now. Like people are more willing to let us do what we want. So I was like, I'll give it a try, and it sold me on wanting to see Good Time. I just haven't had the time to watch it.
Haven't had the good time with good.
I feel like it's a movie where it's like if Uncut Gems is an indication, I want to make sure I have a good time to watch it and not just, I'll put it on while I'm making eggs.
and have an existential nightmare moment. Yeah. It's so with regard to Uncut Gems and like, also with Good Time, but even more so with Uncut Gems, I feel like it is the type of movie that I hate, where there's like constant music playing, constant music cues. There's like, it's like super claustrophobic. It's like super fast paced. And like, none of those are things that I really like. But I just think that their character work is like so above the board and like so above what like other people making this type of movie are doing. And I loved like every interaction. It felt really like New Yorky. It felt really like legitimate. And everybody's like, it's this like, it's a crime movie. It almost feels like it would be like a gangster movie, but it's in this like world that feels so much less anachronistic than like these types of gangster films that have just been like dominated movies forever and ever, where like this one's just, they're just like scrappy dudes who are broke and freaking out about how this person isn't paying them and is disrespectful to them.
It was produced by Scorsese, which definitely contributes to it. So it has that sort of like, it's a boys movie.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that necessarily in the derogatory way, but it's like, it feels like it could be a movie where under less stylistic direction, under less like good, like you said, good character work, it could just be like that kind of boys movie where it's like, this is a movie a boy in your life will love, but if you're not into that kind of movie, you're not going to get a lot out of it. And I feel like this is a movie that the kind of boys who love those movies all fucking love this movie because it's incredible, but it kind of transcends that, and that you don't have to be a fan of the genre to still get a lot out of this film because they do such a fucking good job with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not about a crime movie where it's not about like organized crime. It's very disorganized crime.
Yeah, big time.
I did really like the thing at the end where it's like the guy kind of like it's revealed a bit like more halfway through, but then especially towards the end it comes out as a thing where it's like the guy who's kind of positioned as like this is the organized crime guy that he owes a lot of money to, that is like the main conflict, and then you find out like, oh, he's like
in the family.
He's like in the family. Like he married into Adam Sandler's family, and that's why he's basically being given this long leash. Like way too long of a leash. And then at the end of the film, it's kind of revealed like, yeah, even this guy who like seems like he's like would be a powerful crime boss, turns out actually isn't, because his henchmen just fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Because his henchmen are like, hey, you've been giving this dude like way too long of a leash, and you were about to let him walk away with this shit that he pulled on us because he got the money. But like, this isn't about the money anymore. This is about like, oh, you can't just treat other people like this, which is really what the movie is about. Is that it's this obsession of winning, this obsession of being proven right, this obsession with like, no, all of my choices would pay off if people would just listen to me and do what I say. And then sort of at the end being like, yeah, but is it really like worth it to treat people this way?
Yeah, absolutely.
And to Adam Sandler's character, absolutely. But we see that the end result of that is eventually you do it to the wrong person and you get shot in the face.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I think that this took like a very classical sort of structured like, I guess like Fall from Grace story or like a gangster story like The Departed or something, and it kind of deflated all of the coolness.
Yeah.
And made it so much more real, because like he's being embarrassed at every turn, and it's just like there's like basically one major moment in the movie where he like where he breaks down and is like, I don't know what's going on, everything's going wrong, what the fuck. But then for the rest of the movie, like, horrible things will happen to him. He'll get stuffed in, like, his car's trunk, like, completely naked, or, like...
At his daughter's, like, play recital.
Yeah.
at a very personal family event.
Yeah.
His bullshit will still catch up with him, and he'll end up nude in a trunk.
Yeah, but then he'll just be like, I'm under control. It's under control. It's fine. This is totally fine.
Watching him like try to come up with excuses like, no, it's fine, I'll be fine, I got clothes in here, just like trying to downplay the fact that like, oh, I just had to text my wife and had her come let me out of the trunk of my car, fully nude, when I said I was stepping out to use the bathroom during our daughter's play.
Yeah, it's just so incredible. And like, even just like kind of past the story elements, I really want to like to me, this movie had the best, like, rising of suspense of, like, almost any movie that I've seen in, like, recent memory. And just, like, how the set pieces just get more and more, like kind of claustrophobic in a sense.
Yeah.
There's all the stuff, like, a lot of time is spent, like, in his office, and they lead up to, like, the climax of it being, like, taking place in his, like, place of work, his gem shop, basically, which incredible climax, like the scene of the whole scene of, like, him watching the game and, like, the guys are just, like, stuck in the bulletproof glass case, was, like, insanely good. Just, like, some of the best writing, some of the best directing, incredible acting from the guys that are, like, stuck in there, like, watching the game, like, so fucking good. But also the other high point of the film is definitely the auction.
That scene started, and it sucks because as it starts, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you're just like, maybe it won't happen.
Yeah. And, like, the whole movie plays with that, and it's so interesting. It's like, you, like, the whole entire movie, Adam Sandler's character is just like, it won't happen. The bad thing won't happen. And then the bad thing happens. And then at the very end of the movie, the bad thing doesn't happen, and Adam Sandler's vindicated, and he's like, I'm right. And everyone was like, still fuck you.
Yeah, no. And there's like, no, you weren't right. You can't just lock.
This is your one win.
You can't lock 4 dudes in mafia dudes in a fucking glass case for, like, several hours while they watch you fuck with their money.
Yeah.
And then be like, but I got the money. And they're like, no. You had the money, and you risked losing it.
I was watching it with friends of the show, Robbie and Megan, and for the whole auction scene, like, we like, our hands were over our faces, and we were just like, oh my god, like, somehow, like, it tells you what's gonna happen, and then it, like, drives up the suspense, like, past the boiling point, and it's just, like, so, it's just, like, the despair of it. But Robbie also made another incredible point about the movie that I think is, like, you know, that made me really enjoy the movie more, which is that, like, he won out at the end, right? And they, like, I was, like, in the car arguing, like, no, he won all that money. He made so much money. They could have, it's, like, so much money that they wasted by killing him at the end. And Robbie was like, no. That money was never going to be his or theirs. He would have been like, all right, guys, on to the next thing.
Scam. Yeah. Here's the next way in which I'm going to try to, like, ratchet the game. Because he's an addict. He's addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
Is essentially what is the subtext of the film. There's never any character who says that that's what it is, but he is pure capitalism.
Yeah.
There's never a point where he's like, that's enough money. There's never a point where he's like, I've broken even. There's never a point where he's like, everyone's been compensated. It's always, now that I have money in my hand, it's time to turn that into more money.
Yeah.
He only views money as a way to get more money.
Yeah. And there's never a point where he's like, I'm in too deep, or I need to back off, or anything like that. He just goes harder and harder and harder because of this, like, weird sort of work ethic and money ethic that he has. And like, the whole movie is just, like, watching this, like, dying animal, you know, like, that's how I kind of mentally characterize Adam Sandler's character, is just, like, this broken, like, sad animal that is, like, just kind of sprinting around, and just at the end he just gets put down.
Yeah. Oh no, and it's like, I made that point where it's like, he is the embodiment of capitalism, and, like, he views money as just a way to get more money. And I think about the more, and it's like, oh, that really ties too into the theme of just where it's like, but there's nothing in the film that he does not commodify.
Yeah.
To an extent that it's like every decision he makes, even seemingly personal ones, where he's like, I'm going to leave my mistress and get back to with my wife. Just kidding, I'm getting back with my mistress.
Yeah.
All of these things are motivated by, like, oh, what's the opportunity cost here? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm leaving my mistress because she's causing too many problems, but if I, like, bunker down with my wife and kids, you know, now I have a stability point to continue my schemes on. Oh, wait, now there's an opportunity that has arisen with my mistress to make more money, so we're back together.
Yeah. It's one of the first movies I've really seen that has, like, successfully kind of dismounted from this thesis of, like, dystopian individualism being bad.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of media falls into this weird kind of negative space, like this weird gray area where it's like the movie is explicitly like telling you in words like this type of individualism, like, and this type of like treating people like shit is bad, and also like there's this like meta way to like view and read the story of like, he's kind of cool.
Yeah, but he's really cool.
Like Walter White's like so cool though. Like
he really is a Walter White character, but executed like way better than Walter White was.
Yeah, yeah, and just like his wife is a nag, but like she's right. Like you're always on her side. It's like, yeah, like your fucking kid's recital, go, asshole.
Well, and it's like she's a nag, but it's also like we kind of see that in media res, and so the film over the course of it like gives you enough information to be like, oh, she definitely like wasn't like this. Like this is definitely like her responding to the conditions of their relationship deteriorating, and her responding to the fact that he's increasingly neglecting her and her kids, and just being like, at some point she's just like, we're getting a divorce. And you're still not even putting in like the basis of like, you were the one who wanted to stay together until past this point before we told the kids we're getting a divorce, and you can't even pretend. You're not even putting in the effort of pretending to be present in your kid's life when you're using them to stay in a relationship with me.
Yeah, it's so like, yeah, her character is like so well realized, and so like what the fuck do I do? Like, what do I do about this? And just like all of this, you know, scary shit that just gets like thrown onto her lap. I thought that like his kids I really liked. I liked the touch of them all being like kind of shitheaded.
Yeah, like 13-year-old kids of parents who definitely have money and access, and so they don't really think about anything, and they aren't really at an age where they could even consider like, where is this money coming from?
Yeah.
Why does my dad have another apartment? Who's the hot lady? And him just being like, don't. He's just like, don't tell your mother about that.
Yeah, come on. God, so good. I do want to say I loved Lakeith Stanfield's character was great.
It was really nice seeing him in like kind of a scummy role.
Yeah. Like playing a bad guy kind of.
Yeah, because he's not like an antagonist within the films. I guess he is an antagonist within like a narrative sense, because he's an antagonist-ish to Adam Sandler's character, but he's not like a guy where like you, the audience, are gonna be like, wow, that Lakeith Stanfield character, what a sourpuss.
Yeah.
You kind of also get the sense of like he's also been getting dicked around and is kind of at the end of his rope with it, but is also like, we have a mutually beneficial relationship here.
Yeah, definitely. I also want to just take a little corner to be like, hey, Kevin Garnett's a good actor.
When he was on screen, I literally like halfway through the movie was like, is this actually an NBA act? Like, because I don't know enough about sports, so I didn't know. I didn't know Kevin Garnett was like an actual athlete. So I was like, is this a fictional athlete that they put in this movie? Because this guy like doesn't come off like here's an athlete we got to play himself. He comes off like an actor playing an athlete. Yeah, which is incredible. Like that's such a good performance to actually be an NBA superstar in real life and to play yourself in a movie as if you are not an NBA superstar playing a cameo.
And to put him in such like a central pivotal role in the movie too is like super inspired. And his like monologue at the end where he's just like, what did you pay for this? Yeah. What did you pay the like poor like Ethiopian miners who
probably
broke
are
themselves?
Dying. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, yeah, but like that whole exchange is just so incredible.
I loved it too because like up until that point, one of the few like sticking points had been that opening scene where like I got it, but I was like, that opening scene kind of feels like it's tacked on. Like they're sort of like, oh, we're aware that the gem industry is founded on like hyper violent like neo-imperialism, so we got to include a scene that acknowledges that. But then they reincorporate that in with that scene. Yeah. And in that moment, also tie in all these themes together of how capitalism, like the kinds of people it exploits. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, it's not just Garnett being like, hey, like, what did you pay for this? Like the diamond industry, the industry that you were doing, is exploiting people on a horrifying scale, and you are also exploiting people on a local scale. But it's also like, and who are you exploiting in that? Like he's exploiting rappers, he's exploiting like NBA stars. Like there's really nobody in his life that isn't in some way commodified.
Yeah.
And I like that because it ties it all together where it's like from the people mining it whose like literal lives and bodies are being risked to do it to the people who are even like superstars but whose like, you know, cultural need to like have a relationship to this stuff is also being exploited.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's, you know, all sorts of history about, like, people who suddenly come into money, like, being exploited. Like, you know, like, rich rappers get exploited by their, like, record deals. Like, you know, like, that shit happens, like, every day.
There's so many stories about, like, the 90s, like, when the 90s, like, hip-hop and rap scenes, like, blew up. Just how many of, like, biggest superstars from that area lived in fucking shit poverty because their record labels just fucked them over and basically took all the money from their work.
Yeah. So Uncut Gems, like, really puts a pin on all that shit in a way that is so, like, the movie itself is so graceful in pointing out how, like, graceless this fucking process is and, like, this culture is. And it's like a really good... It's really good. It's really good for this time.
It's so stressful. So stressful to watch. So good. End capitalism, et cetera, et cetera.
And capitalism now.
And I don't even think that necessarily like the film is like made like, you know, like the Safdie Brothers were like, hey, our big socialist text. I think it's just, you know, the kinds of scenes and lives that they're interested in exploring in their movies just are gonna give way to that kind of messaging, because it's like you can't really tell these kinds of stories without being like, okay, but at the heart of it, why do these people act this way?
Yeah. At
the heart of it, why is this kind of exploitation just so rampant on an even interpersonal level?
Yeah.
But it was nice seeing Lakeith Stanfield, because like since he's sort of blown up, you see him in a lot of kind of like big roles, big hero roles, the relatable guy roles, and so seeing him just kind of play like kind of a scumbag.
Yeah,
really nice. He does a really good job of it. I was just like, is that Lakeith Stanfield? And then I was like, huh, he is. He's just really transformed his role in this movie.
Yeah, and like I loved, like, even his character was like super like brutally relatable. Like the part where he brings Adam Sandler to like meet KG at these like. I was gonna say rehearsals, but they don't call them that in
tryouts.
sports.
No, not tryouts.
God, we're too gay for this shit.
Yeah, I think it's practice. Is just what he said.
Yeah, practice.
The girls discuss a boys' movie. What is he? He takes them to like, it's like auditions for sports.
And then what is it called in the points? Points.
Yeah.
You get those in sports, right?
And he's got God. We're not going to talk about what he actually gambles on, because when he said it in the movie, I was like, you might as well be describing how a computer works to me. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't matter too much.
You just had to know that like he bet correctly and he won.
Yeah,
you don't need to know like he won because of.
I'm very thankful for the mouthpiece character who's just like, I think that's the stupidest bet I've ever heard, and I'm like. Yeah, Adam.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm glad that there's a guy here to tell me what I'm supposed to know that bet means.
3 runbacks in the 12th quarter? What? Kendall, son! Sorry to make that reference. But yeah, like the part where Adam Sandler just embarrasses the shit out of him. Like every single thing that he does is so like weirdly, like so scene chewy and so room, like not reading the room, and like he just gets ditched.
Like he's just like quiet glower as you see him go from like, all right, like as long as he keeps his shit together. Oh, he's not keeping his shit together. Fuck this. Just walks, just immediately walks forward, and just the way he's carrying his body is so like locked into just pretending I don't know this guy.
I don't know that guy. I don't know. Who is she?
Who? I came here by myself. We came in separate Ubers. I don't know who that guy is.
I don't know. Also, shout out to The Weeknd for getting punched in the face by Adam Sandler in this movie.
I was mouth agape at just them having The Weeknd in the movie and having his role effectively be to fuck Adam Sandler's girlfriend and then get punched in the face by Adam Sandler.
So funny. Just artistic. Incredible artistic choice.
Also the line of just like when he's introduced at the start of the film, she's like, yeah, I went, because it takes place in 2012, so it's as The Weeknd is getting big, and she's like, oh yeah, he's this Weeknd, he's this rapper, he's gonna be huge even though he's Canadian. is such a funny line. It's such a, even though he's Canadian, is so funny.
Yeah, what a barrier for success, being Canadian.
And then the way that sets up where he just sees that he has the Furby gold chain and he's like, oh, I'm just going to rip that off. And he just does it.
Yeah. They're
trying to sell him a crucifix with Michael Jackson on it. And I'm just going, it's very controversial. Just like the trashiest possible thing for him to try to be selling the Weeknd.
This movie really didn't pull any punches, and it really felt like 2012.
Yeah.
Like 2012 was just such a jumble of a time.
There's like that scene where Adam Sandler's just like, we gotta stop that Coney guy.
Fuck. Setting it in 2012 was just incredible. It all worked so incredibly. It didn't feel like super anachronistic, or it didn't feel like it was like talking down to the audience in any way. Everything felt really real, really lived in.
My roommates revisited New York and saw it while they were there, and they were both like they saw it with family, Italian family. So they were like, and they were just like, that's how it is. that's New York, baby.
That's the Big Apple, baby.
That's the Diamond District. One of my roommates was saying like his mom was like, oh, that happened to the guy who sold your aunt her engagement ring.
He got shot in the face?
He got fucking shot in the face. It was funny because Weeks was trying to like tell that story. It was to a room of people who hadn't seen it. So have you ever seen it? And I was like, no. He's like, well, so she goes like, that thing that happened at the end of the movie, that happened to the guy who sold your aunt the engagement ring. And I was like, Meeks, that immediately tells everyone that he fucking dies at the end of the movie. That happened to the guy who did that. Oh, I wonder what could possibly that mean. The thing at the end of the movie.
That thing that happened at the end of the movie, that happened to that guy. Rest in peace. I mean,
he died unrelated.
Natural causes. Yeah. And I loved the little I love the little Gaspar Noé touches of the like nebulas that are like being flown through. That was also very 2012, I found. Like just so aesthetically like perfect. Like pitch perfect 2012 stuff.
The use of 106 Tricks Point Never and like
God.
old like that kind of like electronica furry rave bullshit.
Yeah.
Like as a soundtrack. So many good touches.
Yeah.
I do gotta remember at some point when the movie is like available in a way where I can get video clips of it, is I wanted to do an edit of the scene when Garnett is looking at the opal and there's just these flashes of history going and then the case breaks. Is the last thing I want it to be is because it's showing like war, terrorist acts, like major news events and like these flashes of galaxies and stuff. And then I want the very end to be the you got gnomed gnome. And then it's just like it just collapses onto the glass case.
Can you refresh my memory on the you got gnomed?
Just look up you got gnomed. I'm not a gnoblin. I'm not a gnoll. I'm a gnome, and you've been gnomed.
I've never seen this.
And it was basically like a weird like boomer version of Rickrolling that became a like ironic meme after that, where you would just like trick. You would have like a fake thumbnail for an image, and then you would click it, and it would just be like one frame of that image, and then the rest would be the gnome.
That's great.
And then it became like a weird meta meme of stuff that would build up to it, and then the last second of it would be the gnome.
Okay, great. Yes.
It's kind of the same thing as like the Hotel Mario.
Oh yeah.
Opening.
Bip 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 bip. That's really how Uncut Gems should have ended.
Yeah. It zooms in on his face, and then it's just like. Bup, 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 bup.
I'm imagining that is really killing me, actually.
Also, shout outs to the side chick. Great performance. Great character.
No, I loved her. I loved her.
I loved her showing up with a smoothie, being like, "I came here as soon as he could," and him just immediately being like, "Oh, I could tell."
She was actually really great. The whole thing at the end where she's like, where she's like kind of part of his like little scheme, and she has to like avoid the gangsters, and like there's this like kind of Trump-esque guy that is just like super old and like is just telling her to come up to his room. That shit overruled. The part where like, specifically the part where like he finds her with the Weeknd in the bathroom doing like coke together.
Yeah.
And like she starts like screaming like at the top of her lungs. Like, that's very realistic. I have seen
that exact
fight happen on the streets of.
The way she just like starts trying to like talk shit with people in line, and then she's like, "Well, that's why you're still in line, and I was inside."
Yeah, like, and then they're just like, "Oh." That all felt, that was all like shit I've seen happen before. It feels like
I've seen that and the only thing that was missing is she needed like a Harley Quinn tattoo.
Yes, God, yes. Someone make Uncut Gems, but in Tempe.
In Tempe, Arizona,
on Mill Avenue. I would watch. I would watch the shit out of that.
You could probably set that in like Reno, Nevada, like any place where people go to have vices and be really fucking swelteringly hot for some reason.
Yeah, to burn alive.
Did you know like the guy in that scene when she's placing the bet, who's like explaining the bet to her because she doesn't know what it means, was a dude that one of the directors just met the night before filming that scene. Because he couldn't sleep, so he went and shot craps, and he met that guy, and he was like, "This dude rules. Do you want to be in my movie?" And he just wrote a character for him to play in the movie.
Great.
And apparently, a bunch of the small bit actors in it who like aren't actors that you would are just people that they met while doing research for the film.
Well, I think I don't know if this is true or not, but I think the Trumpy sort of guy at the end was also that.
That would make sense, yeah.
But that might be, that's pretty unsubstantiated. Don't quote me on that one.
Because I know the guy that he keeps doing the rings things with, the pawn shop guy, was another one of those dudes where it was just like guys that weren't really actors, were just people that they met while researching that they like were able to convince to be in their movie. Because they were like, "You're basically like what we want out of this character. Do you just want to be in it?"
Yeah.
And apparently his fraternal twin is what they said in the interviews. Or like that's who got him like to sign on, was just to be like, "Come on, be in the movie." And there's like tweets that are going around where people are talking about like, "Yeah, I went and saw this with like family, and my uncle was like, wait a second, I know that guy."
Damn, that's great. That's awesome. Fucking love it. Oh, by the way, there is a hidden. Oh, I didn't know there was a Natasha Lyonne cameo.
Wait, really?
Natasha Lyonne plays a Celtic staff member. Also, Tilda Swinton plays. You hear her over the phone. She's like the art appraiser, or not the like gem appraiser lady.
Yeah, the person who's always beefing with. That scene where he's like, "All right, so she said, just take them all out, and we'll fix it from there." And he's like, "Oh, she said that? Yeah, okay, hold on, I'm just gonna call her."
Yeah, no,
like, you don't have to check with her. Oh, I'm not. There's just something else. Just the most obvious. Like, I don't believe you, but I know if I say that I'm not, you're gonna make a scene of it. So I'm just like, no, I'm just calling her to check something else. And Amina's like, "Yeah, he says you said to take them all out." No, no, okay, cool, thought so. One of the film's biggest strengths is that everything feels very realistic. They have all felt like if you haven't met or known this person, you've been in public settings with these people.
Yeah, you've certainly met them.
You have seen the Adam Sandler guy yelling at a hotel person that he was previously very polite to because they said that he couldn't do something that they're not allowed to let him do. And then they just said, "Okay, we're going to let you do this so that you stop yelling."
Oh, Wayne Diamond. So Wayne Diamond is the old dude who gets super into the character Julia at the end of the movie.
The gross looking Trump man.
Yeah. Garment District legend, according to page 6.
Oh, that would make sense. Like a big part of that scene that they're doing research in. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I don't know if there's that much else to say about it. Like, we just really fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah,
like, it's a really great movie.
It's very stressful, which some people were like, "Oh man, that was very stressful." And to me, I got out, I was like, "That was great." I love a good stress movie.
Yeah. I sometimes I can really handle it when it all comes together, when a movie is just like really shaking you by the shoulders like that. And I thought it worked out really well.
I did think it was a little like, oh, I get it. Where he gets shot in the face and he has the hole through his face, and I was like, oh, because they keep mentioning that the diamond or the opal has like holes on either side so you can see through it to see everything in it, and then he gets holes in his face, and like I was like, all right, that's clever.
I guess he was the gem after all.
I guess the opal was inside all of us.
Yeah. Anyway.
I love that they also foreshadow when Lakeith Stanfield like goes into the safe and he's like, "Where's my watches?" And he's like, "Those watches are counterfeit. Like they clearly came off the back of the truck." And Lakeith Stanfield's like, "They're fucking mine. Where are they?" And throughout the film, you see him giving people watches, and you're definitely like, "Those are the watches Lakeith Stanfield said were in the safe," and that's why he's not showing them to Garnet because he doesn't have them anymore.
God, it's so great. Just like spending money he doesn't have all across town.
The way in which he like just constantly is flipping things and like quicking things up. It's a movie where I'm excited to rewatch it and see what things I missed, because there's almost definitely stuff where you're just like, oh, this thing he's saying now is like him setting up a scam he's doing later.
Yeah.
Or like this thing that he did like here is a scam from earlier in the film that was like passingly mentioned, because he's just constantly running scams.
So you got a scam. That's what life is all about.
The bit about resurfacing his pool in December.
God.
And him just denying it, like that's not something that like they would just make up on the spot. Like he's like that's not true. They're like, dude, come on. If they're accusing you of that, they know it's true.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Good movie. What would you rather have spent your
$15 on?
$15 on?
If A24 inevitably tries to sell some sort of version of the little gemmed up Furby, probably that.
Probably that. Yeah. I think maybe that's real. Maybe there's a real. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, there's definitely, at the very least at this point, people are definitely like making them. But I feel like because like A24 like occasionally does merchandising stuff for their movies, but they were pushing the Furby thing like pretty hard as like the mascot, as it were, for this movie.
Yeah. There's a whole Vulture story, I guess, about the history of that Furby. Yeah. So I read that if you're interested in the history of that prop.
Yeah.
Because I know I am, and I'll probably go read that later on. But fucking great production design all around.
Great use of sound, great visual design. I think before you saw it, and I was gonna go see it, you said, I remember you had compared the directors to Danny Boyle. Mm-hmm. And I definitely see that. And I think they're putting it to much better use than Danny Boyle did.
I totally agree. Yeah, Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle, whatever. I would rather have spent my $15 on a counterfeit necklace that I could have flipped for more.
Running around for your AMC money all over town.
Yeah. You owe me those points. You owe me those popcorn
I had
points.
2 $5 rewards I could have used to get 1 popcorn, and now I can't get any popcorn. My kids are fucking hungry. We're gonna go see fucking Star Wars episode. What are they even on?
I sent you my free tickets. Where are the tickets?
Where are the tickets? I get to the theater. I'm in A9 to
Those
A12.
tickets weren't worth shit. They were front row.
A10, A12, all seated. No one I know.
Those were fake tickets. I did you a favor.
Listen, Bombshell, mixed reviews. Not what.
It was a piece of shit. I did you a fucking favor. God.
I texted you. I said we meet me at Cats. We're gonna go see Cats. You didn't get my. I didn't. Sometimes my phone doesn't send the text.
You didn't come with me to see Cats. I love when Italians yell. I just love it.
I live with 2 of them.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great every time. God bless Italians. God bless Italy.
On this podcast, we're pro-Italian.
We're pro-Italy. We're pro-Italian American. And yeah, that's that. What would you not
have spent my $15 on? Probably a ticket to see Star Wars.
Yeah, same.
I feel like that's an easy one, but it's so funny how that movie has mixed reviews and is by all accounts a flop, and yet it's still fucking everywhere.
I don't even want to think about it. It makes me sad to think about. Not because I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give Disney more of my time in my life. Because because they've stolen.
Stop seeing Disney movies. Go see
stolen so much of
A24.
it. Just go watch A24 movies.
Literally even their worst ones, probably more worth it than seeing anything by fucking Disney.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the Film Critters Promise.
Yeah. The official A24 hype team.
Yeah, we're the street team. And Neon's also doing some great work because
Neon's got some good stuff out. What are some other like production companies? Who distributed Parasite?
It was Neon.
That was Neon. Okay.
But there's definitely a lot of others that deserve credit.
Go support your local indie theaters if you have one. I know some people don't because of how America is run.
Yeah, sorry everyone. We live in a bad country.
As
Uncut Gems has told us.
We are very lucky to live in a place that has as many indie. Some may say too many indie cinemas. In our
new ones opening all the time.
Literally, yeah. So if you are a Seattle listener or ever in Seattle, there's this new place that opened up called Beacon Film. Very cute little theater. Highly recommend it. When we went and saw them, they were like, "We don't have a permit to build out a little patio area yet." And so we apologize.
You started talking about it being like hard to find
because they look like they're like like those storefronts that are like in parts of like city areas where it's just like flat storefronts. So they're in one of those. Which when you're looking for a movie theater, you're not looking for one of those. So we drove past it and they're like, we're working on it, but we have to get like permit stuff to like build out.
Oh yeah,
that makes, into the sidewalk area.
That makes sense.
Because they want to set up a little patio area for people to sit on. They want to have like a marquee kind of thing up there, obviously. But it's a very cute little theater, and the movie I saw there was very fun, and they have very good programming. So again, if you ever get a chance to support your local indie theaters, it's a great way to just see movies you probably wouldn't hear of or know about otherwise.
Yeah.
They're actually doing like a bunch of screenings for Uncut Gems because I guess they're like really hyped about the Safdie Brothers.
Fuck yeah.
Because they were like...
They're right.
Yeah, because they're like, normally like we try to do like a little bit more under the radar films, but like we are like big Safdie Brothers stands, and so we're really hyped about this. So we're doing like a week of just like all Uncut Gems programming.
Cool.
And I guess they're doing special events around it. I didn't look into it too much because they announced it after I'd already gone and seen it. But
yeah. In Northwest Film Forum, there's SIF, there's
Grand Illusion.
Great place.
The Crest Cinema.
Crest, yeah.
There's a lot of good movie theaters out here. We're very fortunate.
Yeah.
Highly recommend just Googling indie movie theaters in the area, getting on the newsletters. Explore. That's how we saw fucking Give Me Liberties?
Yeah.
That's what we saw. It was
Give
just
Me Liberty was
one of
at
those
Grand
random... Yeah, it was at Grand Illusion. Totally random film. Didn't hear anything else about it anywhere else. But I was very glad that there was like a list, like one of the lists that was going around of like 50 films from 2019 that like people didn't see, and like Give Me Liberty was really high on it because they were like, this is like criminally underseen and it's really good. And I was like, I saw that movie and it is very good.
It was quite good. And so was Uncut Gems.
Yeah, so see it if you haven't already.
Yes.
Stick around theater. We're gonna be doing we are going to be doing an episode on Cats.
Yeah, and Star
Wars.
Those are coming.
And potentially good movies. I still need to see Knives Out and Bombshell.
Yeah, I do too. We'll see.
Finding time to see movies.
Boy, oh boy, it's hard.
They released too many good ones in like 1 month.
Yeah, well, we're leading up to like the award season shit, and it's just, And
even in January where it's like bad movie season, there's like bad movies I want to see.
Yeah, definitely. And we're also join our Patreon. We have a video coming out this month we talked about both Hagazusa and Beach Bum.
Yes, because we do a Throws It Back thing, and our Throws It Back for 2020 was movies in 2019 that we didn't do episodes on because both of us hadn't seen them.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was a lot of fun. That'll be going up either before or after this, but it'll be there.
Yeah. And then patrons also get to see everything 3 days in advance.
Yeah.
They also get to, have their names in the credits of our full episodes. They get to have feedback on episodes.
So
We're
much.
do a little Q&A for them.
So many benefits.
You'll
know all
us.
about our next full Film Critters episode before it ever goes up.
Yeah, you'll get the inside scoop and
secrets.
And I'm Jay Bearhat. Wait, what are you glad you didn't spend your $15 on?
Star Wars.
Okay. I think that's that.
Yeah.
I'm Jay Bearhat.
I'm Baru.
Bye.